Okay, boys and girls, we're going to continue on with our estimating of fractions, whether it's closer to 0, half, or 1. So we have something called fractions on the closed line, and we have a whole bunch of closed down here. We have a number line with 0, half, and 1, and we're going to talk about and figure out where do these closed fit on this closed line. So the first thing that I'll pull out is 1/8. Now, if I was to make this closed line cut into eighths, it would be 0/8, 8/8. What would be half of 8? It would be 4/8. So if I have this lovely pair of, I'm going to call them swim trunks, and it is 1/8, where would it be closer to on the number line? Okay, you're right. It would be closer to 0. Because remember, we're talking about reasonableness of an answer, whether it's closer to 0, half, or 1. Let's put on another pair. Now we've got this nice little t-shirt right here. Now we said, if we were talking about eighths here, half of 8 would be 4/8. So it looks like this lovely little t-shirt is going to be, and it looks like it's losing itself, it would be right there in the half. So let's pull out something here. Oh, 2/6. Where are we going to put 2/6? Well, let's think about this number line again. If we had it in sixes, this would be 0/6, 6/6, half of 6 would be 3/6. So 2/6 would be less than half. So we're going to put 2/6 about right there. Okay? Let's pull something else out. Oh, we've got 5/6 now. Well, if we already said that this would be 3/6, we know 5/6 is going to be over here. But now let's think about this. If this is 3/6, there's 4/6, 5/6, and 6/6. So where is 5/6 going to be? Well, if you said closer to the whole, you were right. About right there. See what else we have in here. Okay, we have a lovely little dress here, and it's got 1/3 on it. Now, we've talked about equivalent fractions. So, looking at that 1/3, where would I put that 1/3? If I cut this number line into thirds, it would be 0/3, 3/3. This would be 1.5 thirds. But I'm looking at this 2 6s up here, and what do I know? You're right, I know that if I took 2 6s and I divided it by 2, you're right, what I do to the numerator, I do to the denominator. So 2 6 can be reduced down into simplest form into 1/3. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Oh, we've got 1/12. Wow, 1/12. If I cut this number line into 12ths, 0 12, 12 twelfths, this would be 6/12. 1/12, that'd be all the way over here. Now I have a question. Is 1/12 going to be closer to 0 than 1/8? Well, now think about what we talked about. If the numerators are the same, then we look at the denominator. And the larger the denominator, the smaller the piece. So I'm going to move these swim trunks over, and I'm going to put 1/12 closer to here because I know that 1/12 is going to be smaller than 1/8. So we're going to leave that like that for right now. Okay, here's a lovely little t-shirt that has 1/2 on it. Well, we know that it goes right under the 1/2, and obviously 1/2 is equivalent to 4/8. Let's go on. Up, here is 11/12. Okay, now my question on this one is 11/12 a larger piece than 5 6s? Well, if I took 5 6s and I took it to the denominator 12, so I'm going to take 5 6s and make it into 12s. What do I have to do to 6 to get it to 12? You're right, multiply it by 2. So what I do into the numerator, I do into the denominator. So 5 times 2 is 10. So 5 6s is less than 11/12. So I'm going to move 11/12 all the way over here because it's closer to 1. And I'm going to put 5 6s about right there. Because we want to make sure that we put them in the appropriate place. Let's see what else I've got in this basket. Okay, I've got a pair of pants. That pair of pants says 2/3. Okay, if this number line was cut into 3 pieces, 0/3, 3/3, half of 3 is 1.5. So 2/3 would be more than 1/2, right? So it's going to be close to 1/2. Let's see what else here we've got. Oh, I've got a pair of jeans and it says 12/12. Well, I know if the denominator is the same as the numerator, that means it's a whole, so I'm going to put it right here underneath the 1. What else do we have in this basket? Okay, we've got 3/4 right there. Okay, number lines cut into 4 pieces. 0/4, 4/4. Half of 4 is 2, so we know 3/4 is greater than 1/2. But now I've got all of these over here, and I need to kind of figure out where 3/4 is. So when I look at 3/4, I know 3/4 is probably going to be less than 5/6 and less than 11/12, but it is probably going to be greater than 2/3. But I can check myself and say 2/3 and 3/4, and I can multiply this by 2, which makes it 4/6, and I can multiply this by 2 and make 6/8. Now I don't have a common denominator yet, do I? So I can multiply this by 3 and have 6/9, and I can multiply this one by 3 and have 9/12. Nope, still don't have a common denominator. I can multiply this by 4 and have 8/12. And now I have a common denominator. Looks like 3/4 is equal to 9/12, and 2/3 is equal to 8/12. So I have them in the right place. 3/4 is greater than 2/3, and the only way I knew that was to find a common denominator for them and an equivalent fraction. So let's go on. Okay, here is 2/8. Where is 2/8 going to be on here? Well, I know 2/8 is going to be greater than 1/8. And looking at these two right here, if the numerators are the same, then you look at the denominator. The larger the denominator, the smaller the piece. Well, 2/8, the denominator is greater than 2/6, so I know on the number line 2/8 has to come and it's closer to 0 than 2/6. Let's see what this one is. Okay, that looks like that is 6/8. Where am I going to put 6/8? Well, we know it's greater than half because half of 8 is 4. So we know it's going to be greater than half. But where in this is it going to fit? I wonder why these two are the same skirts. What do you think? Well, let's try this out. Let's see if they are equivalent fractions. So I've got 6/8 and I've got 3/4. And remember, if you are trying to figure out if they are equivalent fractions, you can cross multiply. Numerator to denominator. 6 times 4 is 24. Numerator to denominator. 3 times 8 is 24. Well, look, guess what? They are equivalent fractions. And remember, that is one way that you can check if they are equivalent fractions. And so I'm going to put this right underneath there, and I know that 6/8 is equivalent to 3/4. Let's see what else I've got in my basket. If it'll let me get them out. This one says 1/6. Okay, here we go. I'm looking at 1/6, and I know 1/6 is greater than 1/8, looking at the denominators. But where does it fall with 2/8? Well, I guess I can line them up and see if I can find an equivalent fraction for them. If I reduce this down, it comes to, if I take 2/8, I know it's not in simplest form. If I'm reducing it down, remember multiply, divide by the same number top and bottom. This is how we do it. So the factors for 2 are 2. The factors for 8 are 2 and 4. So it looks like the common factor that they have is 2. So I can say 2 eighths divided by 2 in the numerator, 2 in the denominator is 1/4. And if that's the case, I know that 1/6 is going to be between 1/8 and 2/8, because 2/8 is the same as 1/4. It's kind of getting a little crowded over here on this end. Okay, is there anything left in my basket? Oh, I've got a pair of pants. Well, maybe. Now, we just did this. We reduced this down 2/8 to 1/4, so I know those pants go right here. I'll move this over just a little bit. And the last thing I have in my basket right here is a pair of jeans that says 4/6. I'm wondering if 2/3 is equivalent to 4/6 because they seem to be the same. Well, how can I check myself? I can cross multiply. 2/3, 4/6. Remember, numerator to denominator, 2 times 6 is 12. Numerator to denominator, 4 times 3 is 12. So it appears that these two are equivalent fractions. So here's our close on the number line. We can tell that 1/12, 1/8, 1/6, they are all probably closer to 0. 1/4, 2/6 are closer to the half. Of course, 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2. 2/3 is equivalent to 4/6. 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. 5/6, 11/12, and 12/12. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Think about numbers on a number line. Think about when you're estimating, you're finding about what it's close to, that you have 3 numbers for your denominator. The beginning one is the 0, the denominator. The ending one is the denominator and the numerator are the same numbers. And then whatever that number is, whatever your denominator is, you're going to think of it in terms of half. So this is talking about reasonableness, 4.3F, and we'll see you later.